Thanks to the wonderful film starring Johnny Depp, pirates have become something romantic and even kind for the modern world. Ironic, since in reality they were extremely colorful and even more cruel personalities. Today we will live one day in the shoes of the most common pirate of the Golden Age. Piracy, like the most powerful empire, took pirates into service, and being a pirate was more prestigious than any civilian profession. The only one in the history of the state. The pirates are waiting for you in just a few minutes. Introducing our guest, Marcus Barbarossa Rashford. Like modern comedians, pirates inserted a nickname among their names. Some, like Bartolomeo the Portuguese, dropped their surnames and adopted nicknames based on their home countries and cities. Pirates were sometimes given nicknames by their comrades, and a good example is the legendary Algerian pirate, known as Deadhead because of his baldness, which caused jokes from colleagues regarding the Dead Desert. As for our guest Marcus, he got the nickname Barbarossa from his friends due to his prominent red beard. External signs, such as a long, thick sleeper and strong teeth, were common among pirates in the vastness of the ocean. Nicknames were varied, suitable for every taste. However, some simply adopted fake names. Strictly speaking, piracy did not have a specific historical era. Pirates have always existed, ranging from primitive raiders on rafts to modern-day Somali pirates with machine guns. Behind the authorship of Homer in the Odyssey, there are references to pirates already 3 millennia ago. Phoenician pirates plied the Mediterranean, although their main target in the past was not ships and coastal villages, but their inhabitants, whom they captured to sell into slavery. At that time there was no clear line between pirates and merchants. Each sea merchant had his own team of warriors, and if they noticed a nearby ship with a valuable cargo, they simply captured it and resold the goods. If there was no suitable vessel nearby, the pirates acted as merchants and still made money. Even the great Julius Caesar was once captured by Cilician pirates for ransom. It is obvious that after paying the ransom, Caesar personally supervised the execution of these fools. Around that time, piracy began to be considered one of the most serious crimes. However, states quickly realized that by hiring pirates, they could be used to perform various dirty tasks while leaving the hands of officials clean. During wars, pirates, who had excellent knowledge of the seas, became a real lifesaver. This is where many famous names come from: filibusters, corsairs, copiers, prévôt shooting ranges. These terms originated in different countries, but they mean the same thing. France, Holland, England, and other countries during the war legally allowed the activities of pirates. They provided the pirates with instructions on which ships to attack. In addition, the pirates received a document that protected them on their territory, and under the auspices of this document, they could safely enter state ports, replenish supplies, and were very respected people. There are many cases when pirates moved to official work in the Navy, occupying high positions. A notable example is Sir Francis Drake, an English pirate who raided Spanish ships. He once sent a modest gift to Queen Elizabeth in the form of 2 years' worth of income for an entire country. As a result, Francis was ordained a lord, made an honorary citizen of England, and in every possible way protected him from Spain by legal means. Our Marcus Rashford, nicknamed Barbarossa, was also famous. In 1718, considered the golden age of piracy, he was at the height of his popularity. That year, most of the pirates were destroyed, but we'll talk about that later. Let's now talk about the surroundings of Barbarossa. He and his ship are in the city on the island of Sal, which is still considered the capital of the Bahamas. Marcus stopped there not by chance, because he has been an official member of the Shore Brotherhood since 1706. This association of pirates actually captured the Bahamas, and Sal was considered the capital of the so-called Pirate Republic, which even had its own flag. From the point of view of international law, the islands belonged to England, but in fact the British administration was gone, and the attacks of the Spaniards and the French, as well as pirates, were easily repelled with the help of available ships and a fort. There are often stories about pirate states in books and movies, but the largest of these was the Pirate Republic in Nassau, which was not really a state. Captain Marcus owns a boat called the Happy Delivery. Pirates often like to name their ships, and Marcus was known as a pirate explorer among the circles of the Kier in the 20th century. After studying the nicknames of pirate ships, Marcus found that in 18% of the cases they contained words in revenge, and in 15% the pirates added the prefix tramp to the name. In addition, 10% of the pirates included a mention of royalty. A prime example of such a ship was the legendary Queen Anne's Revenge, which was owned by Blackbeard and often appeared in films. As the title suggests, both Revenge and the Queen were mentioned in it. In most cases, such names were chosen for the psychological impact on the victims. Marcus' Happy Delivery ship is no exception. It seats 10 times less than the mentioned Queen Anne's Revenge and has only 30 crew members. However, its peculiarity lies in the fact that its small size speeds up boarding. Barbarossa and his team simply take the right ship and go on foot through the holds to board. Because of this, there is a name that causes horror in opponents. Often they do not have even a few minutes to prepare, and hitting such a small boat with a cannon is almost impossible. All this is perfectly conveyed in the film about the Pirates of the Caribbean. The costumes and appearance of the Marcus pirates convey the atmosphere very well. The bodies of hard workers were often covered with tattoos, not only for color, because at that time criminals were often stigmatized. The Spaniards burned the letter P topped with a crown on their bodies, the French depicted Bourbon lilies, and the British were marked with anchors and often changing coats of arms. It is logical to assume that 80% of Marcus's team is made up of criminals, and it is also logical that the guys hide their tattoos to hide the stigma of a criminal. In addition, pirates are very superstitious. Every self-respecting corsair had amulets, talismans, and bandages. They were a kind of protection: a lead bullet wrapped in silver or gold, protected from a treacherous shot, a bear's tooth guaranteed a return home, and Neptune's anchor helped with navigation. A large battle hatchet, according to the pirates, almost guaranteed victory in the upcoming battle. In addition, they carried fragments of knives or other weapons in a pocket at the waist for protection. Pirates were also interested in astrology and wore their zodiac signs on chains. But perhaps the most exotic detail is the twin amulet that Barbarossa has, and he has a friend named Anthony. The essence of the amulet is simple. It is a small cactus vessel with a drop of the blood of a person whom you consider your brother. Pirates exchange blood, process the vessel with wax, and say goodbye. If Marcus is given the amulet of a comrade, then he needs to immediately drop everything and go to the rescue. The pirate brotherhood is no joke, and the flag of Jolly Roger is not visible above Marcus's ship. The usual flag of England hangs there. In the hold they have the French, Dutch flag, and other significant national flags. And of course, there was a red flag with a skull, bones, and other symbols of pirate life. The original black and white Jolly Roger flag was only registered in the Oxford Dictionary in 1724. This is explained by the fact that sailing under such a flag on the high seas is tantamount to hanging a target over your own head. In most cases, pirates sailed under the flags of their states, as many had licenses and permits. Having a chance to get a volley from a cannon in this situation was much less. And if we are talking about the robbery of a French ship, it is much easier to approach it at close range, posing as a French ship under the French flag. Thus, in order not to give the enemy time to prepare, the pirates raised their flag only after they were already in a combat position. In Captain Richard Hawkins' logbook, each flag had a purpose. Captured by a captain in 1724, he explains that if pirates approach under a black flag that looks like a Jolly Roger, it means they are ready to consider surrender. However, if the pirates approach under a red flag, there is no chance of escape, and one must prepare for battle. Each captain had the opportunity to draw up his own code. and in a conspicuous place on the ship hung a code signed by all members of the team. Pirates were smart and often attacked by surprise to increase their chances of winning. Movies and romance create myths about pirates, but in reality they were a complex team where everyone knew their place. Pirates did not allow themselves to drink on ships, as this could lead to accidents and the death of the crew. Gambling was also limited to stops at ports and entertainment on land. To prepare for nighttime activities, the pirates used blindfolds to help their eyes adjust to the darkness in the hold where valuables were stored. The Pirate Republic in the Bahamas was a place where pirates could live freely. Some famous pirates, including Blackbeard and Edward Teach, were residents of this republic. However, the lack of a government led to her demise when the British Empire intervened and offered amnesty to the pirates. Most of the pirates refused to accept the offer and they were killed or forced into hiding. So the pirates were complex and versatile, diverse community with their own codes and freedom of decision. But ultimately, they were criminals who posed a threat to maritime security and were persecuted by the authorities. Until we meet again, friends.